Hey, what's up everyone? I'm doing this video to talk about the Danny Green contract. He re-signed with the San Antonio Spurs for 4 years, $45 million, so about $11 million a year. Personally, I think this is a great deal. If you don't know about Danny Green, he's a 28-year-old shooting guard, and he's kind of in the upper echelon of the middle of the road shooting guards, I would say. He's not quite of the elite guys like James Harden, but I think he's just below those type of guys. So he's a kind of a 3-and-D kind of guy, as they say. He's a elite defensive shooting guard, probably the best defender in the league at the shooting guard position. Kind of a bigger guy. He could probably play small forward if Kawhi Leonard wasn't with the Spurs. And he is a very efficient three-point shooter, very good at it. So this is a deal. San Antonio's having a really interesting offseason so far. They signed LaMarcus Aldridge to a max deal, got him away from Portland. They signed a max deal with Kawhi Leonard, and then they re-signed Danny Green. So team is looking really strong right now. I'm probably going to do a video on what I think about San Antonio later on, closer to the start of the NBA season. But I just wanted to talk about this Danny Green contract. So the way I'm going to talk about this contract is from a value standpoint, kind of how he compares to players of similar type talents and how his contract compares. So the problem is with Danny Green, there aren't really a whole lot of comparisons. I think Chris Middleton, who just re-signed with the Bucks. Then we have Matthews, who just signed with Dallas, and Kyle Korver, to a lesser extent, better shooter than these guys, but not the defender that these guys are. So, like I said, Danny Green is going to be making about $11 million a year. So Chris Middleton just signed a contract with the Bucks. He's going to be making about $12 million a year. He's a younger guy than Danny Green. I think he's like 23, 24, something like that. He's not quite the defender that Green is. He's right there though, and he's probably a little bit better of a shooter, or just about the same. So again, Green's making about $1 million less than Middleton, and the problem with Wes Matthews' contract is the Mavericks aren't releasing how much he's going to be making a year. All we know is it's for 4 years. We do know that Matthews turned down a $16 million a year, so I think it was 4 or 5 years contract with Sacramento, which I don't really blame him there. That team's going to be a train wreck, I think. But I think we can safely say that Matthews is going to be making about $14 million a year with Dallas. I think that's pretty safe to say. And again, Matthews probably is a 3-and-D guy, not as good as defender as Green. Green's a special defender, probably the best shooting guard defender in the league. And again, Matthews might be a little bit better of a shooter. The other comparison I have is Kyle Korver, who's older than all these guys. He's been in the league a long time. He's with the Hawks. It's really hard to compare the contract situation because Korver had pretty easily his best year last year. So his contract is less than his season was worth, and it'll be interesting to see if Korver can kind of repeat the efficiency he had shooting wise this past season. He did it 2 years ago too, but he was a much better defender last year. So he made $6.2 million last year, and he's going to make $5.7 this upcoming year. But Korver's 34 years old, so if anything, Korver's probably going to start going downhill, especially on the defensive end. Green's 28. Again, Green, he's been in the league a little bit. He's just now starting to get the minutes, though, that he deserves. He's always kind of played second fiddle to Ginobili. About 2 years ago, Green started playing more minutes than Ginobili, and Ginobili's always kind of come off the bench, but he's played starter minutes. So I think this is a great contract if I give it a grade, I'd give it an A+. I think a lot of experts agree with that because Green's an elite defender. If Kawhi Leonard were to get injured, I think Green could step right into that small forward position, and Ginobili could start at shooting guard if they needed to. I would understand if you were kind of skeptical about, because Green, this is his best year. This last year was his best year, but he's also played more minutes than he ever has before. So I think the production's kind of in line with what he's done in the past, at least with San Antonio. He got drafted actually by Cleveland in the second round. So San Antonio with these guys, while they didn't draft Green, they traded for him, and they're always able to turn these late first round, second round pick guys and make them great players. I think another thing with Green is why he might not have the scoring production. He's very efficient, but he doesn't have the scoring production that some of these other guys have because he's got to share it so much. You got a lot of mouths to feed in San Antonio. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, Tiago Splitter was there. All these guys are pretty good scorers. So, loving this move by San Antonio. Danny Green, one of my favorite shooting guards in the league. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments or email me at statliners@gmail.com. And let me know if there are any other contracts you want me to review. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.